Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. An SEC commissioner says pretty bluntly that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is wrong, and basically he's being rightfully thrown under the bus, I would say. And so I want to share with you her specific words. I'm referring to none other than Hester Peirce, one of 5 SEC commissioners on the planet. I've also got some words from attorney John Deaton, who of course is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case on behalf of roughly 19,000 XRP holders, and he just artfully worded just something that I just, upon listening to it, he just so cut to the core of the issue as to why there's no possible way that it would be reasonable for XRP to be considered a security, especially in light of what it's reasonable to suspect the SEC staff has been doing with XRP for the better part of a decade. And then there's this headline from Crypto Newsflash. The SEC is investigating the king of DeFi, Uniswap. Now, this story I mentioned just the other day, but I want to highlight it again because there's a very well-known attorney within the crypto space who is just mocking, effectively, like in an adult way, but I'd say rightfully so, mocking the SEC's approach on crypto and DeFi specifically. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos, but it's purely as a fun hobby. That's all that's going on here. And so here's the first clip that I want to jump into. This is from John Deaton. And by the way, you can check out his new YouTube channel. Just type in Crypto Law. I believe type in Crypto Law TV and it'll pop on up. He's got several videos roughly, and they are all pure gold. And I'll tell you what, I always love supporting those who are contributing to the XRP community in meaningful ways. And my gosh, who's contributing to the XRP community in a more meaningful way than John Deaton? So I just say, if you've not yet subscribed to Crypto Law TV, do yourself a favor. You shall not regret it. But there's this little clip here, and I wanted to share with you what John Deaton had to say. And it's on a topic I was actually talking about in another recent video having to do with a recent legal filing. Because Ripple is insisting, and for good reason, that the SEC hand over data showing what SEC employees have been purchasing in the world of crypto, specifically as it pertains to Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. And for obvious reasons, like you don't even need to be a lawyer to understand why this is relevant. You know, it's important because if SEC employees have been purchasing XRP, like, are you kidding me? Because the reason this is important, the SEC is claiming that it's been crystal clear from day one that XRP has been nothing more than a security of Ripple the company. That's all XRP is, just a security of Ripple the company. Well, if SEC employees have been purchasing XRP over that time period, of course the SEC would want to hide that information, and they're seeking to, by the way. We'll see if they get away with that. But of course this is relevant, right? And so John Deaton really cuts through on this, and here's what he had to say. This is a quote directly from him. Up until 2018, unlike equities and securities in the stock market, there was no policy relating to someone like Mr. Hinman, or the chairman, or any SEC staff member or lawyer. There was no policy that they couldn't own digital assets. What's that say? What's that imply to the market? It says that if you can own a digital asset, that it can't be a security, because the SEC has a policy on owning securities. And if there is no policy as it relates to digital assets, we don't consider it a security. Bravo, Mr. Deaton. And so upon listening to that, I was just like, yes. I was like, bingo, absolutely. I was like, I got to cover this. That's exactly correct. That is 100% correct. And that's why I've said so many times before, I would hate to be one of these asshats, one of these attorneys at the SEC that's on this case, because you must feel tortured every single day having to do what you're doing here. Like, you must, right? Because you're arguing something like, I don't think they're stupid. So, like, they're arguing this, but it has to be miserable because they know they're in a losing position. And it's just like, how fun can it be arguing something that you know is not true? Because I don't believe that they believe most of the stuff that they're saying in this case. I really don't. Because it's so illogical and so hypocritical. And it's definitely unethical behavior, but it could not be more obvious as is the case. And then on top of that, you've got Hester Peirce, one of 5 SEC commissioners, just destroying the SEC's legal team, stating that everything that they're claiming is incorrect on the topic of whether or not there's been sufficient legal clarity surrounding XRP and the crypto space on the whole. And so there was this clip, which came initially from CoinDesk TV. And my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Digital Asset Investor, he shared this clip. And he had a couple comments. The first one was, "Trouble in paradise?" Yeah, it does seem like trouble in paradise. The other one reads, and he's saying this, again, in regards to what Hester Peirce said. Now, I'll cover her comments in just a moment, but he also said this. Digital Asset Investor said, "Just throw Gary under the bus. I think she's had enough of the BS." Yeah, and so she is civil and she's very polite, as you would expect from her, but she's nothing but professional, very sharp individual. But yeah, she's making it very clear, Gary Gensler, you are wrong. Like that is very clear. And so in this little clip, she said the following. This is a quote. "One of my particular concerns is that I think a lot of people are innovating in areas outside of the security space precisely because we haven't been providing the clarity we should be providing." Now, right there. So again, if you are an SEC attorney on this case, you're having a bad day because Hester just won't stop saying the truth. So I'm a fan of her. She I don't even know for sure how she voted on the SEC versus Ripple case. I have a pretty good idea, but I don't know for sure. And even if she did vote to bring the complaint, she's still right about this. So anyway, I'm just saying I'm a fan. But the CoinDesk host responds and notes that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler recently stated publicly, very publicly, that the SEC has been very clear on positions on cryptocurrencies. That's the claim. Gary Gensler, chair of the SEC, running the whole show. They're very clear. Could not be more clear on cryptocurrencies. And so the host at CoinDesk then asked what more the SEC should be doing to provide clarity, and this is where Hester rightfully throws SEC Chair Gensler under the bus. And so here's the second quote from her. "Well, one area where the chair and I don't see eye to eye is the lack of clarity around when something is or is not a security and what actually is the security at issue when we're talking about these token offerings. So I do think we could provide more clarity in that space." There you go. A little clap for Hester right there as well. And so also, if you're Gary Gensler, you're probably not too thrilled about that. But she's right. She's hitting the freaking nail on the head. And the whole space, frankly, is under attack. Which is why of course, I'm going to report on anything that the SEC is doing to attack crypto. And I did. And so I want to bring up this again. This is from just the other day. I happen to have retweeted something from the Block Crypto. The crypto media outlet, and they wrote, "SEC is investigating decentralized crypto exchange developer Uniswap Labs report." And so I retweeted that and I wrote the following. "Psst, hey Bitcoin Maxi trolls, Moon Lambo here. It's not just Ripple and XRP under attack. It's the entire crypto space. Let that sink in as you nibble on your room temperature cottage cheese." That's the tweet. And by the way, in case you're wondering, room temperature cottage cheese, well, that is the favorite meal of the Bitcoin Maxi troll. Cottage cheese, room temperature, Ripple scam coin 0. Okay, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi troll, if you could just waddle off. I'm trying to do a hot jam right here on the Moon Lambo channel. If you could just waddle off with your room temp cottage cheese, I'd really appreciate that. And so here's the headline from Crypto Newsflash, and I'm going to just touch on this just to make sure everybody's caught up to speed. The headline is, "The SEC is investigating the king of DeFi, Uniswap." The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has launched an investigation into the largest decentralized finance platform in the world, Uniswap. Now, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal, the SEC is looking into Uniswap's marketing and investor services. This inquest comes just a month since Chair Gary Gensler revealed that the watchdog has jurisdiction over DeFi platforms. Yeah, by the way, the SEC apparently has jurisdiction over everything on the planet. It doesn't matter if it actually has anything to do with securities. They're just going to claim that it's all entangled, right? It's all one big ball. Anyway, Uniswap is an Ethereum-based decentralized exchange that allows users to swap tokens built on Ethereum. Unlike exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, Uniswap has no central entity. It has shot up to become the undisputed leader in the decentralized exchange space, and even rivals some centralized exchanges in terms of the trading volume. It also boasts of having $2.9 billion in total locked value. And then down here a little bit further in the article, they state, here I think this is the part I want to jump into. Yeah, this part's fine. The inquest into Uniswap is the SEC's clearest yet that it intends to regulate the DeFi sector. Since its inception a few years ago, the DeFi sector has been assumed to be beyond the scope of the SEC, given that platforms like Uniswap are decentralized. However, regulatory pressure has been getting to DeFi. Womp womp. In July, Uniswap delisted 100 tokens from its app interface, i.e. the front-end web app portal. However, these tokens remained on the Uniswap protocol, which is entirely autonomous, permissionless, and immutable. So, given that's the case, what in the ever-loving hell, Gary Gensler? Brah, like, what you doing, Gary, brah? Come on. Like, and of course, anytime you can point to somebody that made something, even if it's decentralized, you're going to go ahead and attack them. It's like part of the reason Bitcoin has not been beaten by a sledgehammer, with a sledgehammer by the SEC, is because you can't talk to Satoshi Nakamoto. That's pretty much it, right? Now, if you could, we'd be having a bad day. Bitcoin, everybody that holds it, including me, we'd be having a bad day pretty much here. And so Jake Chervinsky, who is a notable attorney within the world of crypto, he tweeted out the following on this topic to try and illustrate the absurdity of all of this. He wrote, "Imagine you're a regulator looking at the wide world of crypto. You see overt frauds pulling rugs. 2017 vaporware ICOs still pushing their tokens. Copy/paste DeFi projects pumping and dumping on centralized EVM forks. You see this and think, Uniswap. I'll go after Uniswap." I thought it was kind of funny the way he worded it, but it's true. There's so much going on. Like, what is the rhyme and reason? What is the rhyme and reason? Well, we kind of get to that here. Check this out. Somebody responded to Jake there and wrote, "The message they're trying to send is that if they can't get Uniswap, or if they can get Uniswap, rather, they can get anyone." That's the message they're trying to send by going after Uniswap. The big boy, right? And so Jake writes, in response to that, attorney Jake Chervinsky writes, "That's the intent, yes. The impact is that all the upstanding people a regulator should want to be building this technology will be dissuaded, and the market will be overtaken with anonymous developers who are completely unresponsive to the regulator's valid policy concerns." Okay, so that part I think is true, but even bigger than that, I think that the developers are just going to move outside of the United States. You're increasingly seeing that. I've reported stories as they popped up in the news, and that is, of course, what you're seeing. And so this is similar. Like I keep saying, it's not just Ripple and XRP holders that are under attack. It's the entire crypto space, and the SEC just don't give a damn. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.